back to the channel, and today we have a very special video. These are my overall thoughts and opinions on the final product that we have today of Trails of Cold Steel 3. So here it is. I just completed the entire game. As you see, From Whom the Bell is Told, the last chapter of the game, Gold Medal. So we're going to talk about all the good and the bad that's here. So we're going to do some we're gonna deal with the biggest issue in the house, the elephant in the room. At the end of Trails of Cold Steel 3, people did notice that there was a certain sequence at the end of the game that says specifically this story will continue next year. So they said CS4 and Saga will come out next year, within a year, and they delivered on that promise. So some people might be thinking that could happen here. For the most part, it didn't. I'm just gonna spill the beans. NISA has not yet revealed a date for CS4, so we could be waiting for quite a while if they haven't revealed a date, guys. So they just said to be continued, where it would have said CS4 next year and Saga. But once again, that's the elephant out of the room. We won't be seeing CS4 until maybe another year or two down the line. So we're gonna go through the good, the bad, and everything in the middle. So for the good, the best thing I can say about this game is, I mean, it is CS3 in a nutshell. They are using an older patch of the game, which is nice. So that what that fixes is it fixes the missing Master Quartz bug on New Game Plus. It fixes the multiple like image glitches in the game where certain items were missing in certain scenes. That's kind of a little bit of a minor one. I made jokes about it, but it is nice to have that there. And they also add the remove the bugs where if you have non-playable characters, they wouldn't be taking up your master quartz, so you wouldn't have to reorganize them. That for the most part is up to date, except for Aurelia. They still haven't used the latest patch version where they fixed the Aurelia one for that. So for the most part, that's all of the good stuff. They're using a later version of the game, which is nice. They also generously allow a New Game Plus to transfer over your character levels to New Game Plus. So if you guys didn't know, Trails of Cold Steel 3, I'll show you right here. Oh, we're gonna exit out of that scene. So I didn't want to believe this because no one I couldn't really get a defined answer, or couldn't figure out where the source was for this. But if you notice in New Game Plus, you can carry over levels. In CS3, you could actually not do that, and that was for balancing issues in the game. But I guess Nihon Valcom got enough feedback that they took that out in CS4. So it's very nice. This will basically, you can power level as much as you want. I did not know that. So basically, the free 2 shiny pom poms you get from Jingo in the game are very useful now, since levels are carried over. So it makes everything much more easier. Because to be honest, CS3 is honestly very easy early game, especially with all your equipment and everything, because of so many broken strats you can use. But once again, that is a problem with most Trails of games anyways. So those are the good things out of the way. Now we hit the bad stuff. So for the most part, like I said, the game is thematically. Oh, also I forgot one more good thing. They added hyperspeed mode, which was basically the high speed mode from Trails of Cold Steel 1 and 2 remastered, where you can just where the game would just go at hyperspeed, which is amazing, guys. Like that is a huge asset in my opinion. So moving on to kind of the bad, and mostly, once again, we're only looking at the aspects that Nisa added in, and with most of the gameplay mechanics being great that they added in, like New Game Plus and the high speed mode, we do have to talk about localization and the localization efforts. And I know they had Brittany on the team, and that's why this disappoints me the most, even though she quit halfway through, I believe. The translation in this game, for the most part, is decent. Everything flows. They fix a lot of the grammar errors. But you can definitely see some grammar errors falling through towards the later half of the game. For the most part, I do ignore those. What really bothers me the most is when they renamed a bunch of items that they shouldn't have renamed, and I felt like it was just basically a slap in XC's face that they renamed it to something else when they had Brittany on their team. And it was annoying, but I mean, I got through it. I just referenced them to their Japanese names, to be quite honest, for most of this game anyways. Another big one with translation is the nicknames they gave a lot of characters. It just felt so out of place. I'd honestly have to go look at what the Geofront team is doing, what their translations are, because a lot of their nickname translations just felt way out of bounds. Like, they were just like they didn't hit the mark. It was just so weird to read it sometimes. And when I'm reading it out loud, I'm like, this just doesn't make sense. There are clear mistranslations, a lot of mistranslations. Not enough to bug you, but enough to bug certain players like me that are very well versed, not very well versed enough in the universe. So overall thoughts and opinions on CS3, it's great. If you haven't played the Japanese version, do it now. I would 100% recommend it. If you guys haven't played CS1 or 2, uh, definitely go play it. Like, the games are out there remastered both on PC and on the PS4. There's no reason not to do that. If you're not on the PS4 era, you still have a PS3, Cold Steel 1 and 2 still on the PS3. So, once again, guys, that's my opinions on this game. Great game. Until the next one.